Hey guys, welcome back to this Ayurveda and Rituals series. My name is Laura. I'm going to guide you through this balancing dosha class. Today we're balancing the pitta. It's the fire and water element in our bodies. We're going to do a yin class. So this yin class is all about winding down the body. So it's all about relaxation. After, you're going to feel a bit sleepy. So I would recommend you to do this class in the end of the day, to really wind down before you go to bed. Before we start the class, there's this really nice ritual in Ayurveda in using the oils. Normally, I use it to put it on my third eye, but because this is a winding down class, we're going to use it on the feet. So you can really calm down, get the energy out of your body, and also get the toxins out of your body, because a nice, gentle foot massage really gets the toxins out. And there's one very big positive thing about massaging your feet every evening, and you can do this sequence every evening. It's going to stimulate your hair growth, and it's going to make your skin look very good. So I'm going to use this Ayurveda oil. This one is especially for pitta. You don't have to use a lot of oil, so you can just spray a little bit on the feet. And it's really nice to take some time to massage the feet. I would recommend you to do it for maybe at least 2 minutes. So if you massage the feet, just make these really gentle, round movements. And really focus on the areas where you feel tension, where it hurts most. It's nice to have a real ritual, so maybe always start with the right foot. And then after, go to the left. So in order for the oil to really sink into the skin, it's really recommended to use socks after, so the feet can really soak up the oil. If you don't want to sleep with the socks, or you don't want to have them on too long, you can take them off after 10 minutes. Here we go. Oh, I can feel a lot of tension after days walking. Actually, the feet are really, we don't spend a lot of time thinking about our feet, although we use them the whole day. So whenever you have time to do the yoga, or maybe you don't have time to do this half-hour class, maybe just always do the feet, massage them with oil. So I am all ready and set up. Let's start this unwinding yin class. So let's start the class right now. I'm going to use these blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, you can use some books to lay on and maybe a cushion. It's important that the block in the back is higher than the block in front. So if you use a couple of books and maybe a higher pillow, it's going to be, it's okay. Also, you can just do a normal savasana in your back if you don't have anything at home. So let's just come into the class in a very gentle and easy way. So the first block has to be around where your bra strap is. And then the next block under your head, and you can make a couple of adjustments down the way. So this posture is really to just open the chest and to land into the class and let the energy flow into your heart, because that's the region we're going to work on in this Pitta class as well, your heart region, for positive energy to flow into it. And focus on your breathing. Try to make the breathing calmer. During the day, your breath is very fast, and you're not really aware of how you breathe during the day. So this is a moment where you can be aware and focus on slow breathing. Maybe count 4 seconds when you breathe in and count 4 when you breathe out. So the position of the legs is not really important. You can leave them open, you can have them together. And if you want to stretch this pose, or if you want to be more open to the positive energy, it's also good to start here with opening the hips already. Because that's an area that closes down when you hold a lot of energy, a lot of anger. You hold it in this area, it becomes tight. Also, during the day, we sit a lot, so our hips are really tight, so you can open them. And we'll take 20 more breaths in this posture. And really try to let go. So try to let go, try to drop the shoulders down and really hang into this posture. It might feel a bit uncomfortable because we're used to, during the day, hunching our back more than that we open the chest. But you will see in yin that with every breath, you can get rid of this uncomfortable feeling and just drop more into the posture. And you will feel that a lot of thoughts come through your mind and they pass by, and that's fine. Just look at those thoughts, let them be present, and then let go of them. Our first posture, a very good chance to really try to let go of all the stress of the day. And let's take 2 more unwinding breaths before we get out of the posture. Inhale and exhale. Take a deep inhale and let it go in your exhale. So to get out of the pose, bring your legs together if you were in a hip opening position, and bring them down to the floor. Lift your head up and place your blocks next to you. And then you can take the other block underneath you, place it next to you. To lay down in a savasana. It might take some longer if you had some books under you. It's heavier. And now try to be aware of the position of your body, what the pose did to your body. Your chest is more open and up. And try to relax for a minute. I always like to leave my eyes closed during a yin practice because it really empowers the introspection that you need for this practice. Because holding a pose can be quite challenging sometimes, especially when there are tight areas in your body. So please really talk to yourself in this class and feel where it hurts, and if it hurts too much, just don't go into the pose. Or we can try to adjust it. So for the next pose, it's a hip opener as well. And it really is good for the stomach area as well. It stimulates it. So it's called Happy Baby. So what you do is you hug your knees into your chest. And then you look up in between the knees and you try to reach out in between the knees, trying to hold on the insides of your feet. And then if you come to lay down, just try to bring the ankles above the knees. And what you would like in this pose is with every exhale, you try to bring your knees more towards the ground. So if it's not possible for you to reach the insides of your feet, you can also just hold the back of your legs. So like this, or maybe even in the knees. And if this is really uncomfortable for you, you can also maybe get a blanket, just roll it into a kind of strap, put the strap here and just pull the strap down. So what you really want to feel is the stretch in your inner thighs. I always really like the name of this pose because Happy Baby is all about letting go, being naive, feeling happy, letting the inner energy in. So maybe you feel that your whole back is underground, that it's flat on the ground. I always like to use this pose as a gentle way to massage my back a little bit. It's really nice after the previous posture, when you open the chest, to have a little bit of a back massage when it's straight. So if you feel that your hips are stretched enough, we can move towards the next posture, but first we're gonna do a counter pose for your hips. So what we're gonna do is you can place your feet alongside of the mat and put your knees together. And maybe stretch up your arms above you to really release the tension on the hips. So now we slowly move into the next posture. And you can start in child's pose first. And just take a couple of breaths here. Then as you inhale, come up. Come into a frog. Just open up the legs very wide, so maybe you can open up them up wider than your mat. And just slowly walk your hands down to the front of the mat until you can place your chin on the mat. So if this is uncomfortable for you, you can also place your forehead on the mat, or maybe put a bolster underneath your chest or underneath the head, whatever feels comfortable. And if you feel comfortable in half frog, you can also try to get the feet behind the knees to come into a full frog. My hips are not that open, so I'll stay in half frog. So what you like to feel in this posture is a deep stretch in your inner thighs. And what the posture does, it also massages the abdominal organs. So it's really good for the stomach and the digestion area. And what you want in this posture is that with every exhale, you go down more. Feel a deeper stretch. So if this feels very tight on the hips, try to soften it with every exhale. And if that doesn't work, you can always place a bolster underneath your hips so they come up more. You can come out of the posture. Just slowly walk your hands back. Remove the bolster if you had one. And bring your feet in front of you and shake them out a little bit. So keep the legs straight in front of you. And what we're going to do next is we're going to just bend over the knees. So you can curl your back here. You don't have to come down with a straight back. And with every exhale, try to bring your nose closer to the knees. So again, if your back really hurts, just try to sit on a bolster or come up a little bit. And if your hamstrings are very tight, just try to maybe bend the knees a little bit and go forward. In yoga, it's always good to challenge yourself, but it shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't hurt in any way. So try to hold on to your feet, and if that's not possible, try to hold on to your shins. So this is a very good posture to stretch the lower back and also to give a little massage to your intestines, your stomach. And you can let your head hang, drop it down. So whenever you're ready, we're gonna make a transition into the next pose. As you breathe in, you roll up vertebra by vertebra and straighten your back. After this pose, I always like to do a counter pose. So a little back bending, Place your hands behind you and lift up your chest, letting your head drop to the back. And slowly come back. So let's get ready for the next pose. What we're basically want to do is to make an inversion. So we want your hips to be above your head. So what we're gonna do now is to lay on our backs first, and then we're gonna do the pose. I think in the beginning it's really, it's easier to start with putting a pillow underneath your hips and just raise your legs up towards the sky. So in here you can feel the blood already running down. To balance Pitta, we work on the endocrine system, so this is really good for cleaning up. So it's perfectly fine if you stay here, if this already feels quite tense for you. But what we'd like to do in the pose is take it a step further and actually place the feet behind our heads. So if this is really tense on your back, you can just support your back and leave your feet here. You can also place a bolster under your feet so you can really just balance on the bolster. And try to breathe in this posture. And please, if you feel any tension in the back, just take it a few steps back. So either you support your back, leave the legs hanging like this, or you go back to the bolster and just raise your legs up towards the sky. If you don't have a lot of time before you go to bed to do yoga, maybe just try to do this posture against the wall every day to unwind of the day's stress. So if you were in full snail, to come out, just support your back and roll down vertebra by vertebra, just really slowly. And if you were the supported snail, we just have to place the cushion next to us and lay down. So for the next pose, we're gonna roll down on our bellies. And we're gonna do a counter pose for the snail. So lift your chest up a little bit. So for our next pose, I would like you to hold opposite elbows and place them a bit in front of your shoulders, so you know the right alignment. And just look in front of you. Place your hands in front of you like a sphinx, and that's the name of the posture, to get a gentle stretch in the back. They're very good pitta pose because it really massages the internal organs. It helps for the digestion. So if you don't feel anything doing this pose like this, then you can always challenge yourself for a deeper stretch from Sphinx to Seal. Just place your hands a little bit wider and lift yourself up, so you have a deeper stretch in the back. The more you place your hands closer to your body, the deeper it is. If this is too much of a back stretch, just come back into Seal or into Sphinx, And you can drop your head down during the pose. Your neck always has to carry your heavy head during the day, so this is a very nice posture to actually let the neck relax a little bit. And your shoulders can hunch. Taking a few more breaths in this position. And if you feel ready, I would like you to turn onto your backs again for the last pose of this class. You can wait a moment here to feel what the postures have done to your body, how it feels. And you can, to relieve your back, you can hug your knees into your chest. And maybe give your back a gentle massage. And if you're ready, we're going into a gentle twist for the spine. So keep your knees and feet together and drop them gently towards the right. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can place a bolster underneath your knees and look over your left shoulder. Maybe place your hands up a little bit for a deeper stretch. Make sure both of your shoulders are on the ground. Very good posture for your spine to unwind after the poses. And again, a very good stimulation for your abdominal organs. If you are ready on your inhale, lift both of your knees up towards the middle. Hug them in a little bit. And we'll go to the other side. Then as you're ready, on our inhale, come back towards the center and we'll prepare for our final savasana. You can hug your knees in again and drop the legs down. So there are two options for this savasana. You can either do a normal savasana, just lay on the ground with your feet falling towards the outside. Or you can use a bolster and place it underneath your shoulder blades for a chest opening one. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. I would recommend you to stay in Savasana for a couple of more minutes. I hope you really enjoyed this class, and thanks for doing this class with me. Have a nice evening. Sleep well.